Hi guys, Saidunder here. Welcome back for the final episode of Armwrestling Basics 6-1. What weight class to choose? So, first of all, let's set one thing straight. I believe you should pick the lowest class that your frame allows you to choose. Why is that? Well, to start off, no matter what your training or your natural status, you will find out the easier or the harder way that your frame gets quickly limited by people who actually deserve to occupy a certain weight class. And it is most easily felt by hand size and thickness, or even sometimes ability to create internal rotation torque. I myself have attempted in my first years to compete in the 85 kilogram senior class, only to figure out that most of the guys there had better finger length. Okay, so I have a pretty big palm, but they were longer. They had better hand webbing, like their bone structure was going out to the sides more, and they had better thumb thickness than me. So it was all in all a horrible experience. I had nothing to grab on, and they could just toy around with me. By the way, I'm 182 or 183 centimeters tall, so I'm a pretty tall guy, and that for some might suggest that I should compete in the 80 or 85 kilogram class. But when I tried, bad experience, bad experience. It's much better to use your genetic advantages in classes where other people don't have them. Anyway, second of all, not focusing on getting bigger all the time aligns very well with what we have discussed so far. You can dedicate yourself to training exclusively for arm wrestling. Thus, you are saving time for social or family interactions and just as important for recovery, which is much better than to only have to train. It's much better to only have to train arm wrestling movements in their exact angles than fitting in a lot of general stuff, which requires even more precise programming and nutrition. Now, let's talk a little bit about, in my opinion, perfect two examples that illustrate competing in the lowest weight class. I'm talking about early days, so kind of like years ago, Georgi Tautiev and Vitaly Laletin. Okay, sure. They might be up in weight now for professional events, but they made a name for themselves while competing in WAF at a very low body weight for their frame. I'm sure this is what most of us are after for over 90% of our career. I mean, if you can get to that level in WAF, I'm pretty sure you could be content with where you are after so many years of training. So don't disregard this. Don't think about, but what am I going to have to do to get to East versus West or King of the Table? Well, you might never. So let's focus on standards that are actually more achievable. Now, I hear some of you yelling that steroids are the only way that you can override the body's natural tendency to keep strength in the small muscles proportional to what the bigger muscles can do when thinking about guys like Tautiev and Laletin in their early days. But my answer to that is fine. Look at the other competitors in their respective weight classes, the buffer ones. You think they never took anything? That just these two guys took the magic juice to get better while still looking like a normal person? No, it's the opposite. It's the perfect argument to show that things can go either way, regardless of natty versus juiced up status. Okay. Now, finally, I would like to mention a study conducted or that he was part of, if I remember correctly, by the Brazilian referee Mauro, where the best performances were correlated with very athletic body fat percentages, which again goes to show that it is best to stick to a lower BMI. I will try to link the study in the description for those of you who are science savvy and want to know more. Well, anyways, thanks for being part of this arm wrestling basic series until the end. I will come back with other content on various topics that are of interest soon enough. Until then, if you want to support the work that I do, please like, share, subscribe, comment, yada yada. Especially comment because I want to know what you think and want to answer their comments, maybe engage in civil discussion. Until next time, au revoir, mes frères.